4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruity activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments. Even after understanding so many instructions on this matter, it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you everyone for joining Bhakti Sanga conference call today. Let us move to our next section, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata Ji,
Hare
Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण राधा प्यारी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
राम
Krishna,
राम
dear Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Param Pavani Shama Devi Dasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Parambhavani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi to all the East Coast devotees. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept a humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Happy Ekadasi, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Happy Ekadasi to everyone. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi, Mataji. I think another Mataji is joined. Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा राधा प्यारी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज श्यामा गौरी देवी दासरी फ्रॉम शार्लेट एंड हैप्पी एकादशी टू एवरीवन माता जी हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, all glories to the Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidas from Radha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. My Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sushmita from Canada. Happy Ekadasi Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Okay, Mataji, I will start the recording then.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Prabhuji to enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 7th chapter, verse 42 onwards. First, I would like to hand over call to Ayan Prabhuji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna and Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I would like to hand over call to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and I wish everyone a very happy Ekadashi. Here's a very brief introduction for our dear speaker. His guest Sukumar Gaur Das. Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji was born in Maharashtra in India in 1980. Prabhu was brought up in a social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, Prabhuji developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God's creation. Prabhuji passed College of Engineering, Pune, Mechanical Engineering in 2003. Prabhuji came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. Prabhuji found all his questions answered in the books of Srila Prabhupada. As a student of MBA Finance, Prabhuji studied Srila Prabhupada's books and became a sincere practitioner. Prabhuji joined the NCDEX Mumbai as assistant manager and worked for 3 years. Later, Prabhuji took on a 2-year course, Brahmachari training course, in Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. Prabhuji was in the youth preaching department and was in the seva of guiding the youth. Prabhuji always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with the youth. So Prabhuji gave up his job and decided to help the misguided youth by helping them understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhuji joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later, he was posted to ISKCON Nasik temple. Prabhuji is serving as a youth counselor in various colleges of Nasik. Prabhuji conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. Prabhuji does many more services like giving classes, online classes on platforms like Bakti Sanga and many more. Here's a brief introduction for Prabhuji. Over to you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful introduction. Once again, happy Ekadashi to everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I would like to hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Ekadashi, Prabhuji.
Just 1 minute, Mataji. I have some basic. Yes. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiratana. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, text number 42. Can we see the shloka, Mataji? Yes, thank you. Sukaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karamina sadapnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavrataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. In this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as he does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his condition of distress begins. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Every conditioned soul is bound by the laws of nature as described in Bhagavad Gita. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karvani sarvasha. Everyone has achieved a certain type of body given by material nature according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishtiti. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra arudhani maya. The Supreme Lord is in everyone's situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy. Bhagavad Gita 18.61. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, is present in everyone's heart, and as the living entity desires, the Lord gives him facilities with which to work according to his ambition in different grades of bodies. The body is just like an instrument by which the living entity moves according to false desire for happiness and thus suffers the pangs of birth, death, old age, and disease in different standards of life. Everyone begins his activities with some plan and ambition, but actually, from the beginning of one's plan to end, one does not derive any happiness. On the contrary, as soon as one begins acting according to his plan, his life of distress immediately begins. Therefore, one should not be ambitious to dissipate the unhappy conditions of life, for one cannot do anything about them. Ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. Although one is acting according to the false ambition, he thinks he can improve his material conditions by his activities. The Vedas enjoin that one should not try to increase happiness or decrease distress, for this is futile. Tasyeva heto prayatet kovido. One should work for self-realization, not for economic development, which is impossible to improve. Without endeavor, one can get amount of happiness and distress for which he is destined, and one cannot change this. Therefore, it is better to use one's time for advancement in spiritual life of Krishna consciousness. One should not waste his valuable life as a human being. It is better to utilize this life for developing Krishna consciousness with ambition for without ambition for so-called happiness. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. Grateful to all of you for allowing me to make a presentation on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam on the very auspicious day of Ekadashi. A very powerful shloka and a very powerful purport given by Srila Prabhupada. So this shloka is saying Sukhaya Dukkha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karmina Sadapnotihaya Dukkham Anihaya Sukhavrata. Sukhaya means search for happiness, search for higher standards of life. Dukkha Mokshaya, and for becoming free from misery. Third is Karmina. Karmina means he is trying to improve his economic condition. And is it sometimes? No, Sada, always. Sankalpa, he is taking a determined effort in this direction. Where? Iha, while living in this world. Okay, so what does he achieve at the end of that? Apnoti. What does he achieve? Ihaya, by doing all these activities, making so many ambitions, skipping so many ambitions. He will achieve only what? Dukkham, only unhappiness. Anihaya. And the economic development that he desires will not be to the extent that he desires. Sukha avruta. And even the happiness that he'll derive will be very, very meager. So the condition of the jiva is given here and described very beautifully because he is trying to do only three things here: increase happiness, reduce distress, and improve his economic condition by which he can be able to have a comfortable life, a comfortable stay while he's in this body, and try to make some attempt, if possible, for the future lives also, if he has some background of dharma. But what he gets is actually the exact opposite thing of what he desires. So in this seventh chapter is very important because Prahlad Maharaj is teaching this to whom? He's teaching to his friends who are of his same age, maybe 6 years, 7 years of that age. And he's trying to teach them about the way by which the search for happiness will end for once and all. And that is by taking to the path of bhakti. And the search will end where? When the bhakti will culminate into prema. And why is he saying that? Because he has already achieved that prema by the mercy of his Guru Maharaj, Narad Muni, Srila Narad Muni. Okay. So this we can see in the 16th shloka. He says this, that you boys should practice bhakti, and by bhakti you will see change in your life. You will be very happy always, not once, not twice. Every day, every moment you will be happy. So the boys are asking him question in the 16th shloka that, yeah, you are saying about bhakti, but we don't see bhakti in your mother. Then he says that because she is a woman, and after gaining this knowledge from Narad Muni, which we both got at the same time, a long time has passed and she has forgotten. Now they are asking, but how is it that you haven't forgotten? Then Narad Muni says that, Prahlad says that I have got the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. And because of that mercy, the influence of time is not acting on me. And what is the influence of the time? Kale neha mahata. By the power of time, everything is destroyed. Similarly, knowledge also gets covered, and that is why Lord Krishna has to come again and again in this world to re-establish the same knowledge, because that's what the power of time is. Even Brahmaji, in third canto, if you read 9, 10th, 11th, 8, 9, 10th chapter, you will find that even his knowledge is covered again and again. And that is why at the start of every day, when he goes to sleep, next day he wakes up entirely blank. Then tene brahmridayadi kavaye muyanti yat surya. Then that muyanti, that bewilderness, is removed by giving knowledge from within the heart that is given by the Lord. So here, influence of time and the nature, both things are shown. uh, Time influences, and also the nature that a person has cultivated also influences whether he'll be able to understand things, whether he'll be, carry the knowledge, where the knowledge will stay fresh with that person or not, is dependent on time and the nature that a person. Just like here he's saying, because of the influence of time and the nature of a woman is to think in short terms. She doesn't have the capacity to think in longer terms, and that is what exactly is seen in terms of Kayadu. So in 17th shloka, Prahlad Maharaj desires that the mercy that he has obtained by the presence of his Guru Maharaj, he wants to pass as it is to his friends. The bhakti that he has received from his Guru, Srila Narad Muni, he wants that his friends also get that. Now, that mercy is what, in what form? The bhakti. So, Guru's presence is also understood in the life of a disciple by the amount, the seed of bhakti that he has got. So, the seed of bhakti is the part of the Guru's bhakti. Okay, that bhakti lata beej, what we have got through our Guru Parampara, through our spiritual master, is the part of our Guru Maharaj. So, that is also the presence of our Guru in our life that we have to understand. Just like the father gives the seed to the mother, and the mother will grow the seed. Okay, so that seed is coming from whom? whose part is that seed? It belongs to the father. Similarly, the spiritual father, the spiritual master, that bhakti that he has invested in us, the mercy that he has invested in, is the presence of the spiritual master in our life. So spiritual master and disciple connection is everlasting, because that seed is given. It may be possible that it may get covered due to something, but that presence of the seed is the presence of the spiritual master in the life of the disciple, that we have to understand. So there is no breaking of relationship between the disciple and guru. It is an eternal relation, because the presence of the guru is eternally, will always be there in the life of the disciple. So we have to understand this. So this is how the concern of the guru is seen in the life of a disciple. And this same concern, just like here we are seeing Prahlad Maharaj, he is the Mahajan, and he is showing his concern to whoever is coming in contact with him. He showed his concern to whom? His own father. But that didn't fructify, because the seed of material existence was very severe and very deeply rooted. So it would take some time. So at times it is not possible for a great soul also. So at that time, the Supreme Lord personally has to intervene, and that is where he can become a devotee easy. So here the concern of Prahlad Maharaj is seen, and many devotees have shown that concern. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire Srimad Bhagavatam is what? The concern, the deep concern that they have. Just like in this chapter itself, we see Indra. Indra has such greed, uh, such possessiveness for his own wealth, his own comforts, that as soon as he finds out that Hiranyakashipu has gone to perform tapasya, without thinking anything, he and his demigods army, they attack on the demons. And to what extent is this happening? What extent it is greed? What extent to that is his possessiveness? He plunders the entire kingdom. Not only that, he takes the queen away with him. Okay, that is also okay. That, of course, it's not okay, but uh, he takes the queen, and to the higher extent, he tries to kill the child in the womb of the queen. The prince he is trying to kill. So that is where Narad Muni shows his concern, even to Indra. See, Narad Muni showing the right path to Indra is what is his concern for Indra. That is where he tells him, see, this lady is not ordinary, because she is carrying a great devotee of the Lord Vishnu in her. So the entire vision of Indra, who was about to kill the child whenever he would be born, is now changed. That same lady whom he was trying to pull and take away forcibly, now to that same lady he is started worshipping. That is what is shown. He circumambulates Kayadu. So actually, circumambulation of Kayadu is not circumambulation of Kayadu. She is the carrier of a great devotee. So that carrier is also worshipped, and the devotee within the womb of that devotee is also worshipped. That carrier is also worshipped. So both are worshipable. The carrier, the mother, and the son who is great devotee, both are worshipped by Indra. So that is the change of vision that takes place when Narad Muni comes. And that's what the mercy of Narad Muni is. He tries to change the vision. At times he tries to fasten the process so that the Lord appears quickly and the demons get killed and they can get out of this material maya. So in the previous shloka, we see that here he is saying, Prahlad Maharaj is saying to his friends, Yadarthe, the efforts invested to get what the jiva feels attractive, the determination that he shows to get what he feels attractive. When it fails, he gets exactly opposite results. And when that results are not achieved, then he loses that hope. See, losing hope is very common in a conditioned soul. And to what extent even great souls have at times lost hope. We see is in our own parampara. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati lost hope when his Guru Maharaj, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj left. And immediately after that, his divine grace Bhakti Vinod Thakur left. So he was so utterly broken, so utterly broken. So he started crying, and for a long period of time, he didn't preach. Why? Because he felt that my motivation to do something for the Supreme Lord comes from these two people. He lost his hope. So the entire parampara had to come and tell him, sir, please don't lose hope. We are all with you. It's only that we are now aprakat. We won't be there with you physically. But from the back end, we are all supporting you. So please continue. And that is where he starts preaching again. Because that determination to preach was coming from whom? These two people. So he started feeling that there is no point in preaching. Similarly, Jiva loses his hope when he doesn't get the exact results that he desires in his material life, especially in regards to the sensual pleasures and the effort that he puts to get that um, enjoyment here. And that is where this 42nd shloka becomes very, very crucial as to how to deal with this situation when we are staying in this material world. And this is a very, very powerful shloka which we all have to understand, that this is the law here. While we stay in this material world, the jiva is in an exchange program. That is what we saw when we read the translation, as translation and purport as given by Srila Prabhupada. What is the jiva doing here? He wants to reduce misery, increase happiness. Exchange program. He wants to reduce losses, increase his profits. He wants to work hard and achieve his dreams. That's what is going on. But unfortunately, exactly the opposite is happening here. And we have seen this time and again. Even Vidura is repeating the same thing. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko natai sukham. Va uparamam va. Are exactly opposite is he's trying for happiness, and what is he getting? Natai sukham. Are forget that sukha. Uparamam va. He is getting the exact opposite reason. Vindeta bhuyas tateva dukkha. Instead of happiness, he is getting dukkha. Yadatra uktam Bhagwan vadenya. So please, my dear Lord, Maitre Rishi, tell me how these jivas will become happy, how their situation will improve, the pleasure that they want to increase, how can that pleasure be maximized? Because the entire effort is going where? To increase that pleasure. Soham rinam shulla sukhaya dukkham madgatanam viramaya tasya. Pravartayed Bhagavata Purana Yadaha Sakshat Bhagavan Rishi. He's saying Shulla Sukha. For that Shulla Sukha, Mahadgata, that entire domain of hard work, for what? Shulla Sukha Viramaya Tasya. What will happen to these people? So they are saying Pravartayed Bhagavata Purana. This Bhagavat is given for what? That pleasure, that surge of extreme pleasure will end when somebody will get introduced to Srimad Bhagavat and the lessons that Srimad Bhagavat wants to teach us. And that is why Prabhupada's purport is so brilliant, because Prabhupada makes things very clear, especially the concepts are very clear. The first line that Prabhupada writes is every conditioned soul is bound by what? The laws of material nature. And this is the point that we forget time and again. So this point has to be hit so hard, that it has to enter the deep domain. Prabhupada, each word has to be taken very seriously. See, Prabhupada is not crazy to repeat the same things again and again. The only purpose of repetition is what? So that it sinks. It sinks deeper in the mind. And the mind, it should sink deep, so deep that the entire conscious and subconscious level should be filled with this point. For person who is behind money, what is the point that is floating at the top of his mind? Money. Where will I find money? How will I increase money? Money is so deep rooted that the entire consciousness is covered by that money thing. Similarly, this point that Prabhupada is writing again and again, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvashi, we are held here by the laws of nature. We are bound here by the three modes. We have to understand that the three modes are in continuous flux. A small mistake and there can be huge damage. And that damage at times is repairable, at times may not be repairable also. So we have to be very, very, very cautious. For that Shulla Sukh, are we ready to pay that price? Are we ready to strive that hard that the end of the life everything will be taken away from us? And this is the stark, harsh reality of this material world. And nobody's exemption. No, nobody's exemption. Even Indra in this chapter will not be exemption to this. Indra was never an exception. If Devaraj Indra, the Devadi Dev Indra, who is leading this entire creation, who has been empowered by the Supreme Lord, is not an exception, then who are we to seek exemptions here? So exemptions are not to be sought by devotee, but rather following the rules and regulations will make devotee more stronger. And that is why I see Ramayana, why is it more attractive than any other things? Because Ramayana, there is no magic. There is no miracle in Ramayana. Yes, there are few, but that are very rare. Ram is working hard to build that bridge to find Sita. He has to work hard because that's what the nature is. That's what how the human life functions. The Manav Samaj functions in that you have to work hard. He's working hard. He's working with the Vanaras. He's working with the engineers to build the bridge. There is no magic that he shoots an arrow and the entire bridge is constructed till Lanka. No, it's very, very human. There is no magic there. Hanuman, when he goes to Lanka, he has to pass the barriers. There is no magic from here to there in the second moment. No, don't expect magic here. By magic, we will become only and only lazy. And that is the most damaging part. So we have to understand what Prahlad Maharaj is speaking to his friends is very, very crucial, very important, not only for spiritual life, but also for personal life, because here things are based on what Prabhupada is writing, laws of material nature. The amount of punya that you carry will be fructified over a period of time. And that much amount of happiness and distress you will get. That's it. That's the equation here. So instructions of Prahlad Maharaj, if you read this chapter and the previously, these instructions are very clear, very, very clear. A 5, 6 year old boy speaking with such deep clarity, you have to understand what deeply has been imbibed in his mind. That what he is speaking is nothing but dharma. What he is speaking is but nothing but practicality. First thing, what does he tell to his friends? Stop procrastination. Kaumaram acharit pragyat dharman bhagavatam here. Sir, you have to start now. If you're thinking I'll start later, he's saying Kaumaram acharit pragya. An intelligent person will start very early. You don't have to wait. Don't procrastinate that next time when things will fall in place, I'll start my bhakti practices. No. He says now, it is now. Spiritual life is not for later, it is now. Once a lady came to Aristotle and she said, Sir, I heard that you have started training young boys in your school. So I have a desire that you train my child also. So Aristotle said, how old is your child? The lady says, very young, he's very, very young. So he says, how old? How young he is? He says, no, very young, he's very young. I says, yeah, but what the age? Then the lady says, he's 5 years old. Aristotle says he's already 5 years late. He's already 5 years late. It should have started far earlier, like Prahlad Maharaj in the womb. So this point has to be understood that we have to stop that procrastination that things will be good and then I'll take up to my bhakti life seriously. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. See, an apple, when it becomes old, how do we get a new apple? For that, nature has made a provision of the seed. That seed is very crucial. Without seed, there is no more future apple coming into picture. Similarly, for preaching also, preaching has to be done with the same purpose, with the same thought process. We have to create a new generation who will take this message of Krishna consciousness seriously. Because if you don't restore the seeds, there is no more future apple. There is no more future devotee. As time passes, everything will be wiped out. After Mahaprabhu went, what has happened? We all know. If the Supreme Lord's disappearance and the entire thing changed as soon as the Supreme Lord leaves, what do we expect? What do you expect? If the mission has to move ahead, that seeds have to be planted right now. You can't stop preaching. If you don't preach, the entire process of Krishna consciousness will stop. At times, nobody is interested. All are in their world. Yes, that will happen. That is what has been spoken in this shloka. They are all in their own world. They want their own things, what they feel are important. What to speak of ordinary living entity? Here, Lord Ram, if I tell you one story. Lord Ram, see, the demigods, they have a selfish nature. This is proven every time. They have a very selfish nature. And they don't leave the Lord also in this. So the demigods are worried. And the Lord Ram is happy at home. We have to do something to get him out of that his comfort zone. So then first person that is used is mantra to get him out of that happy zone because he's happy there in his own world. So mantra comes into picture. Mantra is empowered. by the demigods. She does her thing. Lord Ram says, okay, I don't want the kingdom, I'm going to forest. But look at the nature of the mind. He is happily coming out of his kingdom and is happily settling in the forest. He is no complaint, absolute no complaint. He is happy, 100% happy in the forest. So the demigod says, sir, we didn't get you out from there to be happy in the forest. You have to do our work. Then the second person is got into picture. Who is that? Kakasur, son of Indra. Why? To unsettle Ram. Happily settled Ram in the forest has to be unsettled. Now Kakasur, now why is Kakasur sent? Kakasur is sent only with one agenda that is very, very strong, to find out what will work for Ram, to get him out of that comfort zone and go and fight with Ravan, who is the enemy of the demigods. How to unsettle, and that is the point where they find out that the only way to unsettle Ram is to get Sita out of the picture. And once Sita is touched by somebody, when that comfort zone will break, then Ram will go to any extent to get her. And that is what happens in Kakasur. Just to as soon as he see that Sita's chest is bleeding, he is furious. He takes that grass, converts into Brahmastra, throws, and that's the thing. Just for, of course, hurting a loved one is, of course, a serious offense. And to what extent did Lord Ram go? Ready to kill Kakasur by that Brahmastra. It is only that Kakasur comes and falls at the feet of Mother Sita. That is where she tells, no, no more hitting him. You have to stop. He can't be killed because he has taken my shelter. I have become his guru. She becomes guru for whom? Kakasur. And Kakasur is saved. Only because he fell at the feet. She says, not me, go there. Fall at his feet. Ram is saying, Arey Baba, this is already converted into Brahmastra. It can't go waste. Otherwise, my name will get spoiled. So she says, okay, take one of his eye. And that is how the crow has only monocular vision. They understand one thing, that he has to be unsettled from his place. And the third person that is used to make the entire picture very clear is Shurpanaka. Once Shurpanaka enters, then Ravan comes into picture and then the whole scene changes. Condition living entity means he will find place to happily settle here. That is what it is. That is why it's called condition. Mind has the habit to settle happily anywhere. If we spend some time, you will be happily settled. For 10 days, because here we see in India, 10 days, there is no water for the tap at times. Now summer season is at its peak. So at times 3 days, 4 days, there is no water. When we go for rural preaching, at times for 5 days, there is no water. And people are happy settled. They say after 5th day, water is coming. So they have this in their mind. 5th day, be ready, but 4 days you manage yourself. And they are managing happily settled. That is the nature of mind, conditioned mind. It can get settled anywhere, even when things get bad. So the Lord has to keep sending some storms in our life so that we move ahead towards our goal, Krishna Prem. That search for happiness, according to the shloka, can lead us to anywhere. And even Krishna, we see Krishna happily settled in Rajbhumi, daily fun, playing with his gopas, his gopi friends, everything going on happy. Narad Muni has to come and tell, sir, lot of things are waiting, pending. Your incarnation is not to play here. That is just one part here. Now things are right there. You have to kill Kamsa and then the entire story has to proceed ahead also. That is where Akrura comes and then you take him to Mathura. Then the Leela will start. Further Leela will start. So the Leela has to expand. If the Jiva has to come out of this understanding that I'll find happiness here, it doesn't happen like that. The Lord has to expand his Leela. And what is the expansion of the Leela? Expansion of Leela means expansion of service. Increasing of service has to happen. That greed for serving Krishna has to come into picture. Hanumanji, we all know that famous pastime, the squirrel and Hanumanji pastime, very famous pastime. When Lord Ram sees that he is trying to move her aside, Lord Ram call Hanuman. He says, why did you do that? He says, see, so much of work has to be done and she's roaming here around. So he says, do you know why we are building this bridge? He says, yeah, we have to go to Lanka. See, Lord Ram is saying, Hanuman, I can empower everybody like you to fly and reach Lanka. There's no need for this bridge. So he says that we have to kill Ravan after reaching the sea. Nobody is needed, sir, to kill Ravan. I am sufficient here. This is what is dialogue between Ram and Hanumanji. He says, I don't need anybody. So we have to first remove this wrong understanding that the Lord needs us. No. So when Hanumanji understands that there is something very wrong that has gone from my side, he says this entire bridge building process, carrying the vanaras, carrying the bears, and carrying all sorts of people is only to increase the service, because it is only through service that a jiva gets purified. And if the jiva has to come out of this mindset that is shown in this shloka, that small happiness that he is searching and working so hard, that can happen only and only when he enters the domain of spiritual greed. So the journey of a jiva is from material greed to spiritual greed. And that spiritual greed is given only and only by Srimad Bhagavat. That is the extraordinary quality of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavat has the power to give birth to the greed to serve Lord Krishna. That is the power of Srimad Bhagavat. That is why Bhagavat has to be heard daily. What did Lord Chaitanya come here to give us? What was that he came to? He came to give us that same greed. Anarpita Chiram Bhakti, that greed to serve Krishna more and more. We hear in Katha, Lord Chaitanya was chanting and dancing entire night. And after that, they are saying we are wasting time. What is this? This is a greed. Gaur Hari, what did he come to give? That greed. He's so greedy to serve Krishna by chanting, dancing, hearing. We hear this. He is hearing Dhruva pastime and Prahlad Maharaj pastime 100 times daily. What is it indicating? That greed for Krishna Katha, that greed for Krishna Seva. That same Krishna, see, in 10th canto, Krishna is saying, what? Na pare, I don't have anything. He tells this to the gopis. Now, why is Gaur Hari? Gaur Hari means the one who got the bhav of Gauri. He had to steal Gaur Hari. Hari means Haran. He had to steal that bhav of who's Gauri. Gauri is who? Name of Radharani. If you read Radha Sastrana, Gauri, Mahagauri, all these are names of whom? Radharani. Even Parvati is name of Radharani. If you read Radha Sastrana. All the demigoddesses' names, Shachi belongs to whom? Radharani's name. So Gaurari, as Krishna, he didn't have anything. He was empty. So he went to whom? Gauri Radha, and stole what was there in her heart. That Anarpit Chiram Bhakti is what? That is coming from where? Radharani's heart. And to practice that stealing, he started practice of stealing from what? Childhood. So we think he's stealing better. That is external. Internal is what? He wanted, because he knew Radharani won't give directly. So he had to steal. So that stealing has to be practiced from where? Childhood. For that thing that is there in the heart of Radharani. And then when he steals it from Radharani, that is where he has something to give. Otherwise, he is empty. He's saying, "Na pare, I have nothing." And everybody understands he has nothing. So that Anarpik Chiram Bhakti is coming from whom? Radharani's heart. But he's so kind. He's so kind. That, see, anybody, if he steals something, he doesn't share. But here he stole. And after stealing, he understood this is the best thing to be given to any living entity. And after that, he starts distributing also. So this is the power of bhakti. And that is what Prabhupada is saying, invest here, not in some petty benefits. There you will not get anything in return. But here, small work, and you will get a great result for that. If any other process you are taking, it will be very harsh and you won't reach this point where you are getting this kind of happiness. So we have to understand, because see that without that greed, you won't be able to chant more. People ask, what will happen by chanting? It is better that we work for our sense enjoyment. At least we are getting something. Always, why 16 round? Is one round sufficient? Point is, we don't have the greed. When that greed will appear by mercy of Guru and Gauranga, then we will feel like chanting more, because everybody, material conditioning means he is searching for some benefit. That is what is sadhana bhakti. And the exact opposite to that is the prema bhakti. Vidhi marg and rag marg. What is the difference? Vidhi marg means what I will get. 16 rounds I will chant. 4 regulatory principles I will follow. What is the benefit? Rag marga is exact opposite. In Rag Marga, relationship will come first. The Swarupa will come first. First, I have to accept Krishna as a friend, as a parent, as a lover, whatever. That will come first. Example, there is a lady. Okay. She consider her husband as husband first. That relation comes first. Then she will search. Oh, of course. Oh, he's a great person. He's a commissioner and he has so many people around him and he has so many powers and he can do this and that. Person comes first in Raga Marga. Then his Mahima will come. Oh, he's commissioner, he's this, he's that. And then the third point is in, okay, is there any testimonial given to his greatness? That is where then the Shastras are seen. Okay, the Shastras are, everybody's promoting Lord Krishna. Oh, okay, person, then his greatness. Then is there any endorsement? Is there any testimonial about his greatness? Brajvasi's love for Krishna is like this. They love Krishna as a person. He is my friend, he is my lover, he is my child, whatever. And in that relation, he is showing his greatness, killing Bakasur, killing Putana, killing this, killing that. Oh, he's so loving, he's so great. And third thing, then somebody comes and tells them, oh, you know, he was this and this in his past life. Gargacharya comes, oh, he is not ordinary person, he's great person. He has come Rakta Pita Tatash Shukla Idanim Krishna Tam Gata. He is so awe and reverence for Krishna. He's not saying Krishna, he's saying Krishna Tam. He's feeling that how can I take name of my own master? No, he's saying Krishna Tam Gata. He's indicative of Krishna, not name, direct name, Krishna Tam Gata. So that Krishna's greatness is so high that even Gargacharya is not able to take his name. And he says there are testimonials in the Shastras. You understand Nanda Baba? Nanda Baba, where does he understand? He's, oh yes, my child. And Gargacharya is saying, he is not your son, he is son of Vasudeva. So Nanda Baba is thinking, oh, he was son of Vasudeva, my brother in past life. This life is my son. On the other hand, Gargacharya is saying, he in this life, he has come from Vasudeva. He said, okay, past life. Even that understanding is not clear, because that love towards that person is so deep that externals don't matter. Radharani doesn't love Krishna because he's the Adi, Govindam Adi Purusham. No, she loves Krishna without any reason. That is what Ragamarga is. I don't need a reason to love Krishna. Krishna I love because he is lovable. That's it. Whether he's great or not great, I'm not worried about that. He loves me, I love him. That's the only thing I am. And all these things can be easily got only and only where? In Kali Yuga. No other Yuga has got that power. No, see, the Shastras glorify Kali Yuga. What? You just take Sankalpa that I'll donate this and this in future, not now, future, when things will come. Uh, Even that Sankalpa fructifies. That is the power of Kali Yuga, which no other Yuga has got. Just by taking Sankalpa in the mind, not verbally, in the mind, it has the power to fructify. So here, if we have to come out of this conditioning of searching happiness, we'll have to have that greed for service to Krishna. And that will come from where? That will come from hearing about Krishna, hearing the glories of Krishna. Example is given, just like by churning, butter comes at the top. Similarly, by hearing, the Paramatma who is neutral becomes active. Not only active, he'll start working for you. You can refer Canto 1st, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1. That is the power of hearing to activate the Paramatma within. That is why there is no better process than activating our connection with the Supreme Lord. We have to understand. When we hear again and again, then we can understand. See, even the simple tilak, we don't know the glories. This is Gopi Chandan. This is the dust of Vrindavan, from the dust of the gopis. When Kalia got the print of Krishna's foot and which carried the dust of Vrindavan, even Garuda, who was the number one enemy, who never liked Kalia, he started bowing down before Kalia. Garudaji says, what pious activities have you done, my dear sir? Krishna sits on my back. He tells me, carry me here and there, but he never danced on my back. You got that. Where do you understand the power of this dust of Vrindavan? It is there. We have to hear, we have to read. Putana just dressed as a Brajvasi, simple dressing as a Brajvasi. She got blessed. She got blessed by Lord Krishna. Not only her, Circulam, the entire family, the entire lineage. She was not selfish. The entire family, her brothers, everybody got benefited. Her entire family got benefited by her coming in contact. Just by the external simple dress as a devotee. She came as a Vrajvasi. And the entire Kula got liberated. Entire Kula got benefited. Putana became the Taraka, deliverer of the entire family lineage, just by dressing as a Vrajvasi. So we have to understand the basic things that here Prabhupada is mentioning. We always should focus in sadhana bhakti principles. Basic principles have to be made clear. Because till the time principles are not clear, things can't work out. We can't catch up. That pace, that great speed that we need in spiritual life will only come through coming together and hearing together. That is why we have to come here and hear, because we know this famous shloka, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Satya Kapur. It is already there. We are natural adhikari of that Krishna Prem, but only it has to be activated. Then all these things that Prabhupada is writing will be easily possible. Developing affection for Krishna. It is possible. There are so many examples. Pingla, 11th canto. What was she doing? She just repented and said, I want my relation with the Supreme Lord back. She gets it by the mercy of Dattatreya. Dhruva, with such great anger, he went there, got Lord's darshan. Entire thing transformed. So we have to understand that this Bhakti Marga is the easiest Marga, because no resources are required. Other yogas, you will require so many resources. Proper place, pure articles, pure ingredients, pure mind, pure intelligence. Do you have all this? No. Bhakti, for Bhakti, we have natural adhikar. And that Bhakti can be activated by service to spiritual master. Easiest process. And when spiritual masters gives that Bhakti Lata Beach, we have to understand that spiritual master is always there with us. He has never left us. He will never leave us. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a beautiful class. I'm requesting devotees, if you have any questions or realization, please go ahead. Hare Krishna, Radha Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead with your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned that Srimad Bhagavatam gives us the grade. If we serve, if we hear, if we do the service to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Is there any shloka that we can find in Srimad Bhagavatam, or you can give us to refer, because we we are into the Srimad Bhagavatam distribution, so it might help in me in the future.
There are many. As of now, I don't exactly remember, but this point is made by in commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So if you give me some time, maybe I'll try and find out, or if possible, I'll pass on to Mataji, Shamagori Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. And one more question about the greed. So there is some specifications for this greed that we have, that we can seek from the devotees, or we can have that greed in our spiritual practices. So what is the main ingredient? Because we hear, but we don't know how that hearing was qualitative, because sometimes the quantitative hearing is important. So the amount of hearing for good japa, that I have not understood yet, how we should gauge, to have that greed, or at least try to ask that from the Lord, what endeavor we should do. Could you please teach on this? Hare Krishna.
Two things are required. One is sincerity in the practices. At times, I may feel sleepy in the class. I may not feel like coming in the class. But I have to understand that Lord Krishna will be happy if I go and sit in the class. And when Krishna becomes happy, he as the Paramatma will clean my heart. That's the first thing. Second thing is, there are three stages. One is Shravan, one is Manan, and third is Nididhyas. So when you hear, it has to be followed by Manan. You have to contemplate, you have to meditate, you have to think why this is said. Even that contemplation has the power to clear and purify your heart. So that Mananam. And when you Manan, when there is Manan, contemplation to a great extent, automatically nididhyas, the practices become very easy for me to chant. If my doubts are clear, why I should chant, how I should chant, if that is clear, then chanting becomes more joyful for me, because I understand the purpose of chanting. The purpose of chanting is understood. So these two things I feel are required.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for giving all the points. And Prabhuji, I have one more question. In Canto 2, Chapter 3, I don't remember the verse. One line Prabhupada ji mentions that he says that the tongue is also a prostitute if it is not used for chanting, uh, or you know glorifying Lord. So I read it in the conclusion because there was no explanation ahead, or how he has mentioned about it. So I wanted some explanation or some references, how you can convince me that what Srila Prabhupada wrote is digestible for us, because I'm so conditioned, I'm not able to understand how we should understand what Srila Prabhupada wrote, the context.
See, just like we discussed here, bhakti is the natural process for the jiva. And bhakti means glorifying Lord Krishna. Okay. So when the purpose of human life is to glorify Krishna, means this body, human body that is given, has only one purpose left, that is to glorify Krishna. And if I have to see through my eyes, let it be the form of Krishna. If I have to smell something, let it be the fragrance of Lord Krishna's body. If I have to hear something, let it be about Krishna. If I have to touch something, let it be through service to devotees or through the Archavikra. And through tongue we chant the glories of Lord Krishna and eat his prasad. So this is the natural purpose with which the organs are made. So just like a wife, she's supposed to be chaste and loyal to the purpose for which she has married her husband. Similarly, when the senses are not used for the purpose for which they are made, then they are said to have the tendency of a lady who is not chaste. Okay, so chastity in the senses means to use them for the purpose for what they are made. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to you. All glories to you. Hare Krishna. Thank you for answering. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Sindhu Mataji, please go ahead with your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very beautiful class. I always love your class. It is so insightful. It awakens me every morning. So it is very beautiful. I had just one question, Prabhu, regarding the Raganuga Bhakti that you mentioned. From the Rupa, the characteristics come, the qualities come, you said, but it is exact opposite for the Sadhana Bhaktas, right? First, we understand the qualities. From the qualities, we see the Rupa. Is that correct?
Your voice is, can you enhance your voice? I couldn't hear you properly.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Prabhu?
Yes, Mother.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Raganuga Bhakti, you said there is no, first is the Rupa. From the Rupa, they actually start, later they come to know the qualities of the Lord. But in Sadhana Bhakti, it is the exact reverse, right? First, we start understanding the qualities. From the qualities, contemplating on that, the Rupa comes to us, right? Is that correct, Prabhu?
Yes. In Vidhi Marg and Raga Marg, first relationship comes. Okay, that we gave the example. He is my husband. And after that will come the greatness. And after that will come the testimonial or verification. But in Vidhi Marga, we have to first verify based on the scriptures. Okay, is this person really worshipable? Will he help me? Will he be helpful in fulfilling my desires or whatever things? So it's the exact reverse order that happens in Vidhi Marg, and Rag Marg is first relationship, then the greatness, and then the testimonials are given. And that are also not required because love is so deep that they don't need to understand his greatness and they neither need the testimonials. But as a sadhaka, we have to have that testimonial because we want to choose the right person. Example, in Ramayana, Sugriv asked Lord Ram that please show me your power so that I can be very confident about you that you can kill Vali. And Lord Ram had to display his power by piercing the 7 salt trees. And that is where he became confident that yes, Lord Ram can help me. So that's how Vidhi Marg works.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Mataji, can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhuji, how will I understand that my reading and services and hearing is enough for the next day japa?
If you feel that enthusiasm to chant the next day, that means your sadhana has given you the required benefit.
Please explain, Prabhuji. Could you please explain?
See, when we, the entire, as a soul, we are all pure, Mataji. What purity soul will need, it is already pure because it is part of Krishna. Okay, so the purpose of sadhana is to attract the mercy of the Supreme Lord. That's the only thing. We chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles, read, hear, be with devotees. Only one person so that I can attract the attention of Krishna to me that I am trying to reach you. And this is how I show that I am trying to reach you. Okay. And once Krishna is pleased, the appearance of Krishna Prema and all this become very secondary. So for me, maybe my sadhana may not be that good, but if I am doing it sincerely and if Krishna is pleased by my sincerity, he'll give you that desire that, okay, tomorrow also you try and chant nicely. So when we do it sincerely, Krishna will give you that enthusiasm to do more. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. And you mentioned one more point in the teachings today that there is a presence of our spiritual master because we have that seed of bhakti. You mentioned that point. So, Prabhuji, my question to you is, I met my Guru Maharaj just once or twice. Then how will I understand that my services is reaching to him? Or even if I'm praying for him, how he'll know? Because to be practical, I'm not even in talking terms to my Guru Maharaj, right? So how will I understand that my Guru Maharaj is blessing me? Could you please explain on
The
this?
Guru Maharaj is what? Blessing you.
Blessing, or he is giving the blessing to do more Krishna bhakti, or because you mentioned that we have received that
Hmm.
bhakti seed because of spiritual master, but everyday practice there must be some blessing coming, right? So how will I
Once
understand
your
that?
Guru Maharaj has accepted you, that becomes your eternal bond. Okay, because there is one thing common between you and your spiritual master, that is the Paramatma. So what you are practicing, your Paramatma will tell him that this person is doing this things and doing very sincerely. And when that reaches there, automatically blessings come from that Paramatma to your Paramatma, and you will feel that nourishment, you will feel that happiness, you will feel that more desire to serve devotees and your Guru Maharaj mission. So this is how it works. There is a common factor of Paramatma who does this for both the parties.
So for me it is not visible, for my Guru Maharaj it's visible, isn't it?
Yes, because your Paramatma is relaying everything that you're doing to your spiritual master. Because when we shouldn't see Guru as somebody who is limited. Once that person who is your Guru Maharaj, he is not an ordinary person. He is now the part of the entire parampara. That is why in our Mangalacharan or in our glorification we say Vartaman Acharya Vrinda ki jai. Acharya means he is now directly connected to the parampara. Means he has the power to receive the energy, the blessings of Lord Krishna. He is in that line. He is in the main energy flow from directly from the transformer. Now it will come to the bulb. That is we all. So he is in that line. So we should never estimate the power of Guru. He is all powerful at all times. So what you are doing, he
So,
already knows.
so praying for Guru Maharaj or praying to
What will
Guru
you
Maharaj
pray
is
for Guru Maharaj? What will you pray for
for
Guru
his
Maharaj?
service or for his
He
services.
doesn't need our prayers. He doesn't need
But
our
we do,
prayers.
but we do prayings for his health
Yeah,
and
we
for his.
should pray. We should pray because just to show Krishna that without him my life is incomplete. I need him all the while with me. And physical presence of Guru means I feel more safe. I feel more comfortable. That we saw last time we took this point. It feels more safe and comfortable because when we see somebody, just like Kayadu, she became more safe. Bhagavatam Prabhupada writes this. She became more safe and peaceful when Narad Muni was there. He says, "Dear daughter, don't worry, I'll take care of you." She feels that safety. Similarly, for me as a sadhaka in my struggling phase, if somebody is physically present for me, that gives me more confidence. That is why I pray that Lord, let him stay here with me. I can see him, I can hear him. If not personally in videos or somewhere, sometime I may get a chance to physically associate with him. That is why I pray. What will we pray for our Guru Maharaj? He is already in connection with Krishna. Whatever is happening to him at this point of time is through the internal energy of Lord Krishna. Just like one time when His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj he got paralysis. This was after His Holiness Jayapataga Maharaj got, after a year or two, he also got that. And he was asked, Maharaj, how did this happen to you? You're constantly chanting, you're constantly reciting Bhagavad. You know what Maharaj said? This is the desire of Srimati Sita Devi, the consort of Lord Ram. So whatever is happening in their life is all under the domain of the Antaranga Shakti. Nothing material is happening to them. It is all spiritual. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to you.
Hare.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, do you have time, Prabhuji? Shall I read the messages?
Yes.
Jyoti Mataji showing our gratitude, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Dandavat Pranam, respected Prabhuji. Please accept my most humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Dandavat Pranam to all respectable devotees. Please accept my humble obeisance to your lotus feet. And from the Lalita Mataji and Dinamanda Prabhuji, Dear Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you again for presenting to us allow how to take full advantage of Bhakti and recognize the eternal mercy our spiritual master have bestowed upon us the Bhakti Leela Bija. By hearing you wonderful words, challenges that relentless desire to be comfortable. It is not an option here. We simply need to hear again and again from you and others who are so totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Your grateful servant, Lalita Devi Dasi and Dinavanda Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for tolerating my broken words. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for
Hare
attending class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपासिन्धुभैव
कृपा
च
सिन्धुभ्येव च
पतितानां
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो नमः
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam
जय
ki jai. Srila
जय
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Please jai
जय
Sukumar Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
गौरंग
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga
God bless you.
Nityananda.
आनंद
Nityananda.
नित्यानंद
Gauranga
Nitya